Hey guys, as part of my Diaspora to Home series, I've been speaking to a lot of different property developers and also property experts in Ghana. And today's conversation is no different. I'm sitting down with the CEO of Daimler Homes. They're based in East Legon in Accra, but they serve the whole of Accra. And they have some really great properties available. We had a really great discussion about the real estate market in Ghana. So guys, if you haven't done so far already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get straight to it. I'm here with the CEO of Daimler Homes, and we're here to speak all things about the properties that he has available in East Legon Hills, Chardo, and some other areas. So I'm really excited to speak to you today, Kwabena, because I really want to hear all about Daimler Homes. Tell us about Daimler Homes and your offering.
So, hi Lorraine, once again. Daimler Homes is a real estate development company that was set up in 2022. Right. So I saw a gap in the market. I believe that we need to take certain lessons we learned from other companies outside and try to to bring back their stories here. So Daimler, if you know the name, was part of those who set up Mercedes-Benz. And I listened to the story of how they set it up. I see what Mercedes-Benz is today, the quality of things that they put out, and I was like, no, why don't I try to do something like that here? So that in 100 years to come, we're going to have a real estate company that has bespoke, well-functioning project or products that customers can enjoy for a lifetime.
That's what it is. I love that.
You
say you just started in 2022, but I've known you for many, many years when I came to buy property from another company you worked with. So tell me about how your experience has helped to shape the work that you do. Because I mean, you've been in this industry for decades. So tell me how your experience has helped to shape your vision for Daimler Homes.
So I got into properties in 2013. Then I was just a subcontractor for one of the luxury real estate brands. Now, I dare say I can mention the name Imperial Homes. And that's what started to shape my perspective of real estate. So it got to a point after I'd worked in their properties where I came back home and I saw where I was living. I was like, no, I needed to make a change. Because you see luxury, you see the kind of, finishes, you see the attention to detail. I was like, no, I need to sort of do more in my own space. Right. So when I got the opportunity to manage a company that we bought properties that we both know, that's where I met you. Right. I saw it as a stepping stone. Right. And I also learned a great deal. We developed a very beautiful bespoke. I think you can attest to it. And last year I felt that it was a need for me to step out on my own and really put my hands on it. Right? And sort of shape the real estate story, the Ghana real estate story, the way I feel it has to shape.
So what is the Ghana real estate story?
The Ghana real estate story is, it's a funny one, right? So initially, everybody thought about getting lands and building their homes, getting lands and building their homes. Then we realized that those, a few development companies like Regimano, Manette come in, we were building, affordable houses, we were building homes that you could expand, and people sort of gravitated towards that. But the stories or their experiences were not so good. Okay. So the reason why I say it's a funny one is because when the luxury market started, nobody gave it a dog chance. Right? We all thought it was a fad, it was something that was going to come in and then die off. And even since 2013, I keep hearing, oh, it's a bubble is going to burst.
I hear this as well.
Yeah, oh, it's a bubble is going to burst.
So it's not going to burst?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, to be honest, I think those who think it's a bubble look at completed, properties, see them empty,
right,
and feel that these units are unsold. But that's not true.
Okay, because this is a question I have. There's a lot of you're in the luxury market, yes, right? I hear people say that there are some luxury properties that are going either vacant or unsold. What do you have to say about that?
Vacant, yes. Unsold, no.
Okay.
Because a chunk of the developer friends I have your units sold out. They may be vacant, but they are sold out.
Okay.
So in terms of the vacancy, I think it also presents, a good opportunity for up and coming brokers, up and coming young people to try and get in to get into the lettings market and make sure that these units are tenanted. Right. So a chunk of the time, if you talk to the homeowners, some of them bought some of these units at premium prices, and they are unwilling to step down for the rental. Right. But within the same development, you can go to someone else who has a better understanding of the market offering.
So let's talk about those prices then, right? So let's talk about firstly the offerings that you have and their price points.
Right. So currently I'm looking we're doing apartments in East Legon, apartments in Chado, townhomes in East Legon, townhomes in Chado, and then townhomes and apartments in East Legon Hills. Right. Now here currently the term luxury usually is location specific. So the land prices are so high that once you put something there,
it's luxury.
It makes it luxury. Right. And hence it sells for high price. I am tempted to follow suit, but we're trying to, make our own little adjustments to it. Right. Because if I want to talk to you about why these developments cost so much, it's multifaceted from the design option to materials option, to bank, funding and finance, to the fact that, the market isn't really booming when it comes to sales. And then lastly, the penchant for Ghanaian buyers to always ask for a discount.
So tell us what discount can people get on your property?
Ghanaians feel very offended when
you don't give a discount.
We don't give them a discount. So for this Christmas period, I'm doing 8.5%
of your prices.
Okay. 8.5 because I'm a Peshakan. I'm a bad year. We just won our 8 national science and maths. Right. And we've been to 5 straight finals.
That's very specific.
Specific. So 8.5. If you come to Daimler Homes, if I'm a bad year, 8.5 straight. If you're not going to get an 8.
Understood. Right. So tell us what are those prices for the various apartments you have?
So we are looking at 1 bedrooms, studio apartments between 80 and 95K. 1 bedroom apartment between dollars. Sorry, dollars. So 1 bedroom apartment between 100 and 130,000 USD. And then 2 bedroom apartments between 160 to 190,000 USD. And then 3 bedroom duplexes. Right. These are luxury units that are going above 350,000 USD.
I hear luxury. So what are the amenities that somebody from the diaspora could expect with some of the units and the offerings that you have?
Okay, so for me, my understanding of luxury is treatment. My understanding of luxury is customer service, right? But in terms of amenities, all our developments come with the swimming pool, it comes with the gym, you have the elevator, we're even moving more into having restaurants, conferencing facilities, so the Ghanaians in the diaspora who come in will be able to hold their business meetings without having to pay an extra or rent any other place. Right. And then we also have a bar where you can sit and chill out at night. Right. Yeah, so that's luxury. Apart from the fact that all the units come fully fitted with kitchen, so you have a fully fitted kitchen, you have the ACs, you have the tiles, you have your high quality finishing, right? You have the security doors to ensure that you're very well secured, right? You also have the concierge, who ensures that everybody who's coming to see you intend to see the person.
Okay. So you speak about finishings, right? And something that a lot of people are trying to think about is, what if something happens with the finishing, right? What if something happens in a year's time I've purchased the property? So what do you offer? What assurances do you offer somebody who's buying from yourself?
Right. So here at Daimler, on the market, it's 1 year. So on the market, everybody, all my developer, colleagues give about a year's warranty on their development. We are looking at doing 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. Wow.
So currently I'm doing 5, but I'm trying to push it to 10.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that anybody that buys property from you, if their door handle breaks or there's a crack in the wall, you have a mandate and you are going to be responsible for fixing that within that time period. Is that what it means?
So what it actually means is that you have 5 to 10 year warranty on the structure.
Okay.
Now, in terms of the equipment, the fittings and fixtures, any fitting and fixture that's not done, that's not put in properly, that comes off will be fixed for you for free.
Okay.
The only time is when it's by your own negligence.
Okay.
But if it's not, you call us and we're going to come fix it for you for free. Right. With the appliances, we're going to move the warranty from the supplier, onto you, and we try to work with astute suppliers to make sure that they give you minimum 2 years warranty. Right. So it's not the 1 year, because usually the 1 year comes by so quickly. Right. After handing over, and then the next week the 1 year is over. So we are looking at doing minimum 2 years for equipment, and then maximum 10 years for the structure.
Okay, understood. So, let's say I bought one of the properties, right? What are some additional costs and considerations I need to be aware of?
Right. So, once you buy the property, the first cost you have to think about is your furnishing, especially if you're an investment buyer. Right? You don't want to rent the unit unfurnished. Then you have the service fee. The service charges typically range between $150 and $200.
Okay. A month.
A month.
Okay.
Depending on the depending on the location, the type of facilities that you have within. And then you have to look at your bills. So here, luckily for us, we have stable power now. So you don't have to really worry much, because all our units come with standby gensets to ensure that it picks up, the light, or the power picks up when the lights go off. But we're looking at, so you have to look at putting something aside for fuel if that goes off.
So the fuel costs for the genset is not included in the service charge?
So yes, typically it's not included. What we have done at Daimler Homes is that we give a complimentary fuel allowance every month. That's included in the
I see.
In the service charge. So the lights don't go off too often, or we don't have acute, the past shortages. You don't have a problem.
Understood.
Right, you can be in, your tenants, yourself, you can be in, and not spend it down for.
Understood. So we've got utility costs, service charge costs, and furnishings. Okay. So if I am an investor and looking to come invest, I'm from a diaspora, what would you say is A, the yield, the typical yield, and B, what would you say would be the best property type that gives a good yield?
So going for the yield rate or the yield percentage, now you can get as high as 15, right, and as low as 8, as low as 10. But I advise the aspirants to look at 8% as a as a good yield, because the market is getting competitive by the day. And apart from the fact that with Daimler Homes you're going to get bespoke units, and we design them to ensure that anybody who comes will choose Daimler first, choose our development first. But you also have to make sure that you get the unit tenanted for a longer period. And the cost of the rental, the price of the rental will play a critical role. So 8% minimum should be the sweet spot.
How does someone calculate the yield?
Right. So typically you calculate the yield on the price paid, right? So is the rental over the price paid times 1.
Okay. And you wouldn't consider the extra costs like service charge and vacancy costs and things like that?
No. Okay. So typically, yes, the vacancy cost you can consider, but the other costs that you're talking about, you can put them into one envelope, right, as setup costs, and then you can then deduct them from the yield, right, as the years go by. Because of course the finishing, after some time, you still have to go in and revamp the unit just to keep more interested with it. So you don't sort of deduct that outright. Right. You keep that in a separate envelope and deduct that.
Okay. So when it comes to those properties, what would you say would be the best property type? Is it a studio? Is it a 1-bed? Is it a 2-bed that gives the good yield?
Right. So usually I would ask, what are you going to put it on? Are you going to do Airbnb, or are you going to have brokers rent it? Because typically the 1-bedrooms rent faster. But then if you have a 2-bed and you put it out on Airbnb, and you can make money quicker. That's one. Two, the bigger size units rent longer. Okay. So townhouses, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartments usually have longer term rents.
Okay.
That's a better guarantee for you than a smaller unit. So there isn't any answer. There's not one particular answer to it. Of course, the 1-bedrooms would rent quicker. Yeah. Right. But you have more vacant time, or the vacant periods, would be longer than a 2-bedroom.
Okay. So let me get this right. A 2-bed or larger property types are more likely to get longer term
rents.
Right. Whereas a small apartment, maybe a studio or 1-bed, could easily and faster get short-term properties, so like an Airbnb, but however, there's greater risk of vacancy.
Exactly.
Okay, understood. It's great to hear. Okay, so finally, just to wrap it up, why should somebody choose Daimler Homes over some of the competitors out there?
Okay, so Daimler Homes is a company with a unique personality. We're looking at taking care of you, regardless of how big we become. So we are more focused on you, on the client, on the customer, than on any other thing. Right. So with Daimler, when you come here, I, Kwabena, and the team, we treat you as part of the family. When you come in, we don't want to lose you. We want to add on. We want you to bring other people so we can become a big family. In terms of our development, we are more into innovation and research. So I'm looking critically at building a brand, building units that last a lifetime. And it's not about costs. It's about value. Okay. Right. So with Daimler, we get a value.
But it's not about cost. It's about value. Yes. On the cost side, how can people pay? What are the payment terms and payment plans you have with this?
So currently we have some of the most flexible terms available. We try to let your payment plan be commensurate, especially if you're buying a plan, with the length of construction or with the duration of construction. So you can have up to 36 months payment plan. You can have up to 60 months payment plan, depending on the development type you purchase. And in terms of the payment, you have to make a reservation.
The reservation fee is $5,000.
$5,000. That is also part of the purchase price. And then you make a minimum of 10 to 15% as your initial deposit. And then remaining, we let you tell us what you can do.
Brilliant.
So I don't tell you what you should do. You tell us what you can do.
Brilliant. Great to hear. So I'm excited. Just once again, just tell us the apartments that are available and the property developments that you have available right now.
So currently, we're done with our first development next month, 18 units apartments. We currently have 1 2-bedroom available and then a 1 1-bedroom available. The 2-bedroom is going for $180,000 USD, and the 1-bedroom is going for $120,000 USD. In Chado, we have Vic Squats coming, 8 splendidly designed townhouses, 4 and 5-bedroom townhouses in a gated community with a pool and a gym and management office as well. Then we have Abella Prime, that's what we have here.
Amazing.
8 detached homes in East Lake on Hills.
Okay.
Right. And this is my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yes, because you're getting a 2-bedroom apartment here for a 2-bedroom house here for $135,000.
Okay.
And I said, a 2-bedroom apartment in East Lake is going for $180,000. Okay. So this is my favorite so far.
Amazing.
We currently, construction is currently ongoing. We are looking to finish in August 2024.
Okay, brilliant.
And the highest we're going to pay for a property here is $180,000. That's for a full bedroom.
Amazing. Yes. Amazing. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. We're going to go over and see some of the property that you have available so far, and also the locations of some of them as well. And anybody that's interested in purchasing one of the properties, please get in touch with me, and we'll be sure to connect you to Kwabena and make sure you get a very, very, very good deal. So do get in touch, and hopefully we get more people from the diaspora that can invest in property in Ghana to really have a home away from home. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I do hope you found this video useful. Now, if you're interested in finding out more about how to purchase property in Ghana and generate some rental returns from it, then do check out the link below to my free online masterclass, which takes you through my 10-step process to help you to get on the property ladder in Ghana and generate some rental returns from it as well. So don't delay, just click on the link below and I will see you in class. Now, if you haven't done so far already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, continue to like, follow, share, do all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.